Okay, everybody, welcome back to Master Your Money and Mindset. Today, I am so excited to have Mike Lynch, financial advisor from Barnum Financial Group, on with us. Mike has been on with us a few times, but I am thrilled to have Michael back. Michael, welcome.
It's so good to be back.
I love having you on. And I always flip flop between Mike and Michael. So I don't even know what's
That's all good. Me too. My mom calls me Michael. My girlfriend does. My old girlfriends call me Mike. That's how I know who's calling,
So just answer to whatever I say. I am an avid reader. I have always loved reading. I have always loved books. And I think, Michael, that's why you and I connect so well, because you love writing them. You are such an avid writer. You have had a long-standing career in writing, which is what I want to hear about. But you are on today specifically to talk about your newest book, Start Simple, Grow Big, which is a simple system to help family members build wealth in their 20s and 30s. So I want to hear all about that. I want to hear all about the sister book that goes along with that book and your inspiration for writing both.
Okay, good.
Why don't you start, Michael, though? Remind us about your background and how you got to where you are right now.
Oh, well, I've been doing this now 25 years. So this is my third and final career, and I just love it. Financial planning is just so fantastic. And if you're listening and thinking about getting in the field, all I can say is yes, do it. It's nothing better. Just a wonderful way to live. It gets better. Every year it gets better. Every day it gets better. And Elizabeth, we've been doing this forever, right?
Yes, I love that.
Together.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to say how long because you don't look, we're not on video, you don't look your age. So, but prior to this, I was a writer. I got out of college and that got me out of the construction trades, which I, probably would already be retired now and even have more money. But then I went to work for a think tank, and going to work for a think tank, I just started writing. Why? I never wanted to be a writer, but I started writing, and then I was, writing for the think tank and an executive there, and then for myself and publishing articles. And I got lucky. I got in the Wall Street Journal a few times, worked on a piece for Reader's Digest. The Hugh Hefner's press secretary, that'll age the audience. I liked my stuff, so I got to spend the night partying with some bunnies. It's so long ago that I had a Polaroid of me in between two bunnies in a grotto, if you can imagine that, Elizabeth Hiza, right? Holy smoke. And then I was a magazine writer. And then what happened was I decided, well, I wanted to live the straight life, quit hanging out with all these deviance and decadence. And I love financial planning. So I got into that in my early 30s and never looked back. It's just been great. So I used those skills that I built up, communication skills. I did a lot of TV, radio, I would say outrageous things. And that's producers like that. And then I just tried to use those communication skills. My background's economics, master economics, to really what I wanted to do was I wanted to bring high level financial planning to middle class Americans. Right. And I figured I could scale it. You can serve way more people than is alleged by the industry gurus. And it worked.
I think that is one of your many skill sets, but is you can take really complex information and you make it very, very simple so that anybody can understand it.
Yeah. So this book, do you want me to tell you about this book?
Yes, please.
So this book is my fourth book, but really my third. I did a specialized book for nurses, really applied for healthcare professionals. My first one is a general book. Keep it simple, make it big. Keep it simple, make it big. And that's right. It's a soup to nuts financial planning book that basically can be read by anybody and can be applied, right? Can be applied. And if you do that and you do it long enough, you're going to build a lot of wealth. My second book was all about the income, and it's great. You should check it out. It's got a video if you're out there listening. It teaches you how to turn your pile of money into retirement income. You'll never outlive, how to know you're financially independent. And it does very well at the bookstore on Amazon. And we use it every single day in our practice to set our clients up. But with this one, what I wanted to do is bring it down to the kids, because I know that life compounds. Everything you do in life compounds. The good habits compound, the bad habits compound, but most importantly, money compounds. And so in our minds, we do math like this: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If I gave you 5 hours and $1 million, you could do that all 5 hours, earn $1 million, right? But financial math works like this: 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. I can't even do it anymore, right? And it compounds. So in other words, it's the early years that matter the most. And I also know that plenty of us older people, either gray hair or no hair, We know this, but we know it because we look back and we're like, holy smoke, either we invested in something early and we see what had happened, or we did it and we see our friends who did. And we're like, we want to get this to our kids. And so I said, let me write this up for the kids, because I believe that if you make smart use of your 20s and 30s, the world is your oyster in your 50s and 60s. In other words, the money that I invested making not even at 25,000 right out of the chute when I got out of college, it would now be enough, probably, that I would be close to being able to be financially independent at normal retirement age had I never invested again after that decade. And so I wanted to bring that message to the kids. So I wrote a longer book. And then I said, well, kids don't read anymore. They never did. They certainly don't now. I mean, if it's on a TikTok video, some do, right? Some do. But who's going to read it? Well, my client's going to read it. So I said, holy smoke. Okay. I refocused the larger book for the clients, because they're the ones that are going to read. Let's face it. They like me. They like the book. They like books. You can do it in 3 hours. And then I took the time to make a short book, a beach book, an airplane book. You could read it in an hour. Same content, but it's slimmed down, fewer stories, no dirty jokes, right? That you can just get, that they can then give to their kids. So I said, buy the book. We'll send one to your kids. We'll send it as a gift for you, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephew. We'll send it as a gift. It's complimentary from us. And then, of course, there's a great offer in there, because you always got to be marketing, right? But it's not really about the offer. It is about the information. And so that was it, is let's get this going. Let's build the infrastructure for success. Doesn't matter what you earn. Whatever you earn, you'll be financially successful in America if you work this system. It's that simple.
Whoa. That was a lot really quickly. All right, let's stop and slow down for a second. Did I hear correctly? You wrote 2 books. Dos
libros.
Well, you wrote 4 books, but in your 4th book,
this one,
yeah, is broken up into 2. And the typical person who should read that book is who?
So this book now is Start Simple, Grow Big.
Yes.
The Early Years Money Manual for Parents and Grandparents. So I focus on the parents and grandparents, but it's really all about strategy for their kids and their grandkids.
Got it. Okay.
And that's why I just took these basic concepts and made them age appropriate and applied them to people in their 20s and 30s and showed what they would get out of them if they took that and ran with them. And then I also, included some fun money games and stuff like that. The gamification, in other words, of finance.
And Michael writes just like he talks. So it's very simple. I can attest. Both books are very quick. Even the quote unquote larger one. It's still, I've read a lot of money books. This one goes by very, very fast. It's very,
sure. You only write what you know. It can't be too long, right?
Well, and it's tactical. It's tactical. It's, it's not over an abundance of education that you just don't need to know. And it's not theoretical where you're talking in theory. It's a pretty tactical book, which is what I loved about it. But if they buy Start Simple, Grow Big, then you'll give them another copy that they can send to their kids, which is a shortened, quickened version for folks in their 20s and 30s.
We just call it the Reader's Digest version. Yes. We redact it up, tighten it up for them. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And the way it's priced, I practically give it away. My publisher blew the price. So I can't believe it.
Yes, you do, for sure.
It's unreal.
So basically, you're talking about, you said how the early years matter.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that. Define that. What are the early years?
Early years, I think, are just basically when you start earning money. But most of us, we're going to start earning money either out of high school, we're going to get in a first job and start building our skills up in a trade, or we're going to get out of college and go. Now, when I started, the jobs typically didn't have retirement plans that we knocked around, that we did prior to our first career. Now, because of automatic enrollment, the jobs actually have retirement plans, right? So like for my son, I mean, he's got a Roth IRA already that's after this year. He's only 21. He'll have 50 G's in there because every time he worked, we made a contribution to it. We, meaning parents and grandparents. Mm-hmm. And also he's worked at a boat club and he earns good money over the summer. And he's got a 401k that he's automatically enrolled in. So he's already doing it, right? Which is a key concept for the listeners. You don't even have to do much to do this. So you get your first job, they automatically enroll you in your 403b, 401k, 457 plan, knock it to 10%, click it to the Roth contribution because you figure you're going to make more in the future than you're making today. So, i.e., taxes are not your problem today. They will be in the future. And now you're basically off to the races. So I think the start with your first paycheck, the first real paycheck you get, if you set 10% aside, you'll never be poor. If you set 20% aside, you'll always be wealthy. And that is the key right out of the chute.
If you set 10% aside, you'll never be poor.
10% keeps you'll never be poor.
That 20% aside, you'll always be wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Michael, why don't people do that? Is it just a knowledge gap? Is it they don't want to part with the money?
We know what we want to do. We just don't want to do it. So now let's go back to something else.
They don't want to part with the money.
Sure. And some people love it and some people don't. So if you take something like, we're near and dear, we're in like this fitness system at Barnum because, our leader, our fearless leader, wonderful man, Paul Blanco and his wife, Minnie Blanco, they love to exercise. They love it. Like get up every morning, do that. So for them, I think for Paul, it's probably pretty natural. He doesn't take him a lot of discipline to do that, right?
Yeah.
For someone like me, that's like, are you kidding me? It's completely functional. I mean, but once you get in the habit of working out, once you start that habit, one of the reasons why Paul is such an amazing specimen of a human male is because he's been doing it for so many years. It's a habit. It's normal. And he's compounded it. He's not playing catch up. He's not trying to get to where he is. So that's the physical one that I think people understand physical analogies. Finance is the same way. For those of us that just start saving early or start investing early, then it just becomes a habit. So people know they need to do it, but what they think is that someday they'll get to it. Someday Island. A lot of people live on someday island, someday I'll, someday I'll do this. Someday I'll start working out. I got a note right on my computer screen here and it says April 1, start workout. That's April 1 last year. All right. There's no year date on it because someday I'll live on someday I'll. So what I'm saying with this book is let's get someday I'll to now. Let's start now and go hard at it.
I love that. What I also love is I hear a ton. We do, at Barnum, we do so much financial literacy. We give out a ton of information for free.
Yeah.
And we run a program for younger professionals, and also sometimes high school kids. Sometimes we do workshops for college kids. Mm-hmm. And the main thing I hear from parents, Michael, is that they can't talk to their kids about money. Their kids choose not to listen to them. They don't want to listen to them. Maybe they know their parents have bad habits. So you writing that book makes it easier for everybody. The parents can just hand the kid the book and the kid and the young professional in their 20s or 30s, or 40s, whatever, they can read and learn on their own.
No, that's exactly the idea. There's a great, he's a psychologist, psychiatrist, neuroscientist, I believe. He's from Columbia and he's listening to a couple podcasts. He says, you can't learn through your ears. Human beings can't learn through our ears. Right. Which would be we wouldn't have all the problems. I mean, like I said, nothing is a knowledge gap. I mean, there are knowledge information. There are knowledge issues out there, like how to get to Mars, but none of the human problems are knowledge based. We all know what we have to do. We just don't want to do it. And we want to do other stuff. So so the idea is third party proof. Parents, grandparents, they can hand the book off and they're probably providing financial support anyway. And they can say, look, read this thing. Does it, something might spark. And if something sparks, it could be an aha moment going. Not for everybody, right? And I mean, not everybody's crazy. Some people like to work. They like to work forever. They'd rather spend all their money. That's a personal preference. Some people are hardwired that way. And I'm not casting aspersions at them, right? And what that means in street English is I'm not dissing them. However, I think for most of us, we would like our kids and our children, our grandchildren, to be prudent with their money so that they can have the options that money provides, the optionality that it provides. Yeah. Yeah. And the freedom.
And I think most parents don't want their children to repeat their mistakes.
Correct.
And, you being a financial planner for your entire career, and albeit an exceptional one, I don't think you hear very often people who regret starting early, saving as much as they did, right? You don't hear that.
Of course not. And the people who you might look at even from the outside and say, well, you oversave, you have too much money. I'm just writing an essay right now on Morgan Housel's new book, which is great, The Art of Spending Money, which really isn't about spending money, but he's a great essayist and he's a really good thinker. He applies his psychology left and right. And he does have a concept that says all your money's spent. You're going to spend all your money. And I always say all your money's going to be spent by you, somebody you give it to, or the government. And so I say that to focus people's minds to consume more of their money once they have it. I also say the habits that make middle-class people successful, saving, investing, makes it hard for us to actually enjoy our money, right? Because we want to put it in and we don't want to take it out. So I do think those two things are real. However, his point, because he happens to be a big saver himself, and status in his world comes from being famous, not having money. So he's able to save his money and not have to be flashy and drive around in fancy cars and stuff like that, is that all money is spent. In other words, if you save your money and you don't spend it, you are in fact spending it. You're spending it on peace of mind, right? So it is performing a function for these people, right? And so that's a key of humility, where we all have to look and say we're all different. And so we all have different preferences, different ways of looking at the world, different psychologies, not judge, but like we do, provide information. If then, if you do this, then you're going to get this. If you save in your 20s and 30s, you'll have a big pile of money in your late 40s, 50s, and 60s. Then you'll have a lot of freedom for a career change, to Johnny Paycheck your boss, to do what you want. If you don't, and you use your money for consumption, you'll have a lot of perhaps more good experiences, right? But then you may be forced to work longer than you thought you were going to have to work in a job that you're tired of, because that's where your skills are and you need the money, right? And so just know just the ifs and the thens. And what I like to do is give people information and entertain them.
Well, that is for sure. And trade-offs. That's what.
Yeah, it's all trade-offs. No solutions, only trade-offs.
That's what you do a lot as a financial planner, is help people go from the present to the future, and talking to them about the pros and cons and the trade-offs in between. A lot, Michael. Now you're a financial planner. You've been so for, like we said, we agreed we wouldn't say how long, but
a long time.
A long, long time. You've met with hundreds, if not thousands, of people over the years.
Thousands.
That's for sure. A big myth that we hear in our world is that I don't have enough money to work with a planner, or someday I'll work with a planner. Right? Someday I'll meet with a financial planner when I'm more organized, when I have more money, when I get a raise, when I have so much saved. How do you combine what you teach in the book to, when it's time to work with a professional? Or is it something that people should do in tandem?
The answer is yes, and yes, right? So should I do it myself? Yes. Should I hire a financial planner? Yes. Should I talk to my parents? Yes. My grandparents? Yes. It's whatever going to work for you. So having a financial planner or working with a professional is not a function of the size either of your paycheck or of your bank account or investment account. Now, it is true that a lot of financial advisors might have minimums, and they're focused on keeping the wealthy very wealthy. And the ticket to get on board is you got to have $1 million, $5 million, $500,000, whatever the case may be. That wouldn't be somebody you work with. But there's plenty of us that will just not do an income or an asset test. If somebody will take advice, we'll do it. Typically, there'll be some flat fees involved. We got to get paid. It's not a nonprofit, that's for sure. But you're going to end up with a lot of value. So it's never too early. And it's always good, even for people that want to learn how to do it themselves. At a young age, working with an advisor can really move you up that learning curve. It's like me. I like to, my big passion now, besides the money, is fishing, as you may know. And because I got a little more money than time now, and I have mad respect for people that have spent their whole life fishing. I could never know what they know. So I'm happy to put them on my boat, pay them $100 an hour. I'd pay them more. They undercharge, to tell you the truth. They undervalue their services. And I'm like, look, I'm not looking for the spot. I'm not looking for you to reel it in. I'm not looking for the picture. I want you just to be a coach. How's my golf swing look? How do I set up on the current? Do I want to get this type of fish? Do I cast in or away, right? What are the techniques so that I can accelerate my learning and then take it from there? And then it's, of course, all going to be about the reps. It's all about what you actually do.
Yeah, I love that. So one does not replace the other.
No.
when clients or potential clients or employees or all the folks who come to you in this world, when they come to you from a spot that's more educated, it just speeds up that conversation.
Yeah. And, the thing is I believe everybody's a fiduciary, right? So I don't believe in this sort of lawyers, accountants, or fiduciary. But you know what? My dishwasher repairman is a fiduciary because he knows more than me, and it's easy for him to use that knowledge to rip me off or do a good job, right? So now I have a fantastic mechanic. He is a mechanic's mechanic. And anybody who wants a recommendation, you can get me offline. Unbelievably good. He loves it. You know what the only thing I don't like about him? And I like it. I don't care. But the only thing that I would change, that's what I should say. Mm-hmm. He likes it so much, he tells me everything he does. And I don't care.
Oh, everything he does to your car?
Yes. It's a truck. Let's just be clear. It's a truck. Okay. It's an old F-150. Yes. So, and he's like, I did this, and then I looked at this, and then I saved you this money, and then I went to the junkyard. He loves it. And he assumes that I want to know. And of course, at this point in my life, I don't, because I just want it to always to run, right? So I don't want to be educated. In other words, some people want to be educated. Other people don't want to be educated. And it's kind of like our job to get people where they're comfortable, get them the information, always accurate, always top tier, always fantastic information in a way that they can use that they want.
Michael, we need to wrap up because I know you have a very important client appointment coming up, and I do not want to hold you from that. But before we close, Michael, I read the books. I love them. I can attest to their simplicity and how tactical they are. You have a good amount of Google reviews or Amazon reviews that attest to the very same thing.
Sure.
I want you to leave my listeners with two things. Number one, what is the main reason why they should pick up this book? And number two, where can they find it to do so?
Well, the second one's easy, Amazon, right? Michael W. Lynch, or no, I don't use my middle initial. That's another one that sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But Michael Lynch, Amazon, start simple, grow big. You'll see it. And my other books are there too. So that's where you go get it. We provide it to our clients. They ask nicely, whatever. So our peeps tend to get them. And what was the first question? Why should they?
Why should someone pick it up?
We're not on video now, so my picture's on the back, and that is always. I've been told that that's a fantastic benefit of these type of things. It's just get good information, right? Get good information, because I think what you're going to pick up, especially if you read all the way to the end, there's a lot of fun little games to play at the end.
Yeah,
I was actually on a call with the client yesterday who I used for my shoe example, turn buying shoes into shoe into debt destruction. And she loved it, right? She loved it. So read that, right? Yeah. All these games, right? That. Turn a bad habit into massive wealth, right? Yeah. Make sure that you're always happy. No matter what happens to oil and gas prices, you'll always be happy.
I love that one. Yeah.
Make the problem the solution of the problem. So those things are good. And then the system is good in the back too. So those are money games. Also, we got two systems in here. We call it the 10%, the dime on the dollar, and the dime on the dollar, and then the 2 dimes down, right? And those are the two plans, 2 dimes down and dime on the dollar. And if you employ those plans, they're very simple. You're going to have more money than you ever need. And then, the only problem with having more money than you need is you got to worry about other stuff.
Like what?
I don't like which April 1st am I going to start my workout?
When are you going to start? And
when am I going to start? Fishing. And
right?
The
weather.
You got to worry about the wind conditions. Yeah, I still work more than I fish. And you know what? I'll tell you this, Elizabeth. I know I love it. I'm going to keep doing this as long as I can, because I get it the same day. I get a fishing magazine, a financial planning magazine at my house. I got a very comfortable chair. I read my financial magazine before I read my fishing magazine. I still love it. All these years later, it still motivates me, and I still like it. So I'm not done.
Michael, where can listeners find you if they want to get in touch with you directly?
Well, let's see. What's the best way to do it? My office, you can go to my website is michaelwlynch.com. That's probably the best. michaelwlynch.com. We have a video on there that talks about, all of us at Barnum, we got so many fantastic advisors at Barnum, and we all do it a little bit differently because that's the kind of place Barnum is. They hire creative people, and then they let us go and add value in the way that we're able to add value. So what you'll see there is if you click on Meet the Team, you'll see our process, and you'll see the six of us, what we do and how we do it, and it's a nice introduction of what we do. And then of course you can also, there'll be contact, email us if you want an appointment or you want a further discussion anyway.
Beautiful. So in the show notes, we will link to his book on Amazon that you can grab. We will link to Michael's website. From Michael's website, you'll have his contact information, but you can also sign up for his newsletter that he has.
That's right.
Right? In time, Michael, I believe you're also working on a podcast to support the book.
Yes, I am working on a limited podcast. We want to get you the information and ways you can have it. I turned my second book into a video course, spent a lot of money, a lot of time, I braved Oakland, California for 3 days, and that was rough to get it done. And so that's up on my website for free. So that's a good one for that system.
Okay. Well, beautiful. Well, everything will be linked in the show notes, folks. So please reach out. In the meantime, it's always wonderful to have you here, Michael. Congratulations on your fourth book. Master Your Money and Mindset listeners, thank you so much for being here and all the support you give to myself and to the show. And we will see you next time.
Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth. Always good.
Thank you for listening to Master Your Money and Mindset. You can find these episodes on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you heard. You can follow Barnum Financial Group on LinkedIn and Instagram. Thanks so much.
All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their current opinions and do not reflect the opinions their respective parent companies or affiliates or the companies with which the program participants are affiliated. Investments or strategies mentioned in this program may not be suitable for you, and you should make your own independent decision regarding them. This material does not take into account your particular investment objectives, financial situation, or needs, and is not intended as recommendations appropriate for you. You should strongly consider seeking advice from your own investment advisor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through qualified registered representatives of MML Investor Services, LLC. Member SIPC, 6 Corporate Drive, Shelton, Connecticut, 06484, telephone number 203-513-6000.